Have you ever heard of Tinker Hatfield? No, don't switch off. Of course you've heard of Tinker Hatfield. He's the legendary Nike/Jordan shoe designer. But I'm not asking you if you've heard of Tinker Hatfield, to be honest. Actually, what I'm asking you is, have you heard of Toby Hatfield? I had not. I had no idea who Toby Hatfield was until I researched this sneaker. And I was quite surprised to hear that there was another Hatfield involved with Nike. And I'm going to tell you more about Toby Hatfield today, what he's done with Nike, and what the Nike Air Jordan 1 FlyEase that he's bringing out has to do with sneakerheads and sneaker collectors and the sneaker world, as we look at that in today's video. This is the Tokyo Butter 23 Sneaker Channel. Tokyo Butter 23 Sneaker Channel day. That's my Chapsuno day, my Dimitri Kudasai. And every single day from Tokyo, Japan, I bring you content about upcoming sneaker releases, sneaker news, and sneaker reviews, and a little bit about the butter movement that always comes at the end of my videos. So we'll leave that until later and focus in on those sneakers. And those sneakers that we're talking about today are the Nike Air Jordan 1 FlyEase. And I have to say, I had very little knowledge of what the FlyEase initiative was. I just picked these guys out because of that iconic black, red and white colorway, and it's an Air Jordan 1. So I was thinking, maybe there's something I need to look at there. And it was one of those sneakers that when I dug into it, I was like, oh, okay, I see more than I was expecting to see here, and we're going to talk about that in today's video. But speaking of things that are red and white, there's a red and white subscribe button down below waiting for you to click if you haven't already. If you have, thank you very much for supporting the channel and helping us to grow. And as I am here in Tokyo, Japan, I do say that in Japanese at the start of every single one of my videos. Shite no akai to shiroi no botan o click suru to tasukaru node, toroku suru to tasukaru node, zehi mada toroku shite nai kata ni toroku yoroshiku onegaishimasu. So anyway, getting into the sneaker, you've got that red, white and black iconic Chicago colorway on an Air Jordan 1, so you're thinking, yes, this is fire. So here's my kind of trajectory as far as this sneaker is concerned. I was like, oh, that's interesting. It's an Air Jordan 1 in red, white and black. I'll have a look at that. So I'm on the rise it up and I'm thinking, yeah, wow, this is going to be cool. Then I started researching about the sneaker and it was like, whoa, there are things on here that I do not like and I think are absolutely awful. But then I dug even deeper and I was like, oh, you know what, actually that's kind of cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about that today, and I'm going to start at the back end of that story in the kind of cool section. And what we're talking about is the FlyEase initiative. And I had no idea about this Toby Hatfield thing. I had no idea about the FlyEase thing. But Toby Hatfield is Tinker Hatfield's brother. I was kind of assuming when I saw the name it would be his son who'd followed his dad into the same business, but it's not. It's actually his brother. And what he's been working on is an initiative to get sneakers like these and make them available to either people who, well, generally people who find it difficult to wear them. And by that, I'm thinking about people who aren't so young anymore, and there's nothing wrong with being a little grey-haired. So people who aren't so young anymore, and people who aren't so able, you know, and aren't, maybe they have some kind of disability or some condition that makes it difficult for them to wear shoes or wear sneakers that sneakerheads and OG heads out there would wear. And I think that story is important. It's really important to consider the fact that what they're doing is they're designing effectively a classic sneaker to make it accessible to people it wouldn't normally be accessible for. And I'm a big yes on that. I don't think when people get to a certain age or when people have conditions that are either making them less able or something to do with, you know, medical conditions that make it difficult for them to wear what we would think of as regular sneakers. I don't think they should be excluded from that. I think it's a good thing that we're finding a way to design classic sneakers so that they're accessible to a wider audience. So that's where I finished my my research on the sneaker. Was kind of in a sort of pure, like, oh, this is a sneaker that's pure and worth getting behind. It's all about the equality. Now the thing is, though, I don't actually like it. so like I'm conflicted because I like the story of it, but I don't like some of the features on it. Now, the two particular places that I don't like are the two main features of what Toby Hatfield was going for when he designed this shoe to make it more accessible to a wider range of people. And the two features that I don't like on it are the ankle Velcro supports, which are designed to give even more and extra support to people who need a bit more stability in their walking and what they're trying to do, to get a sneaker like this on their feet and be able to walk and move around stably. So that Velcro does add a massive amount of support around the ankle, making these much more usable to a wider range of people. But I just don't like Velcro on my sneakers. Never ever have I liked Velcro on my sneakers at all. Even if they're in a replacement for laces, or in the case of this, like an ankle support, or just there, for fashion. I've never ever liked Velcro on sneakers, but I do like the Japanese word for Velcro. If you haven't heard this yet, the Japanese word for Velcro is magic tape, which I think is really cute. Magic tape, Velcro in English. But I don't like Velcro on sneakers, and that big Velcro around the ankle, around the neck of these guys is a big no for me. And I also don't like zippers or fasteners on sneakers. And now that I think about it, I think it was Air Force One Gore-Tex, Air Force One High Gore-Tex had a massive zipper down the front of them, which I didn't mind because it still had the laces. It wasn't in place of the laces, so you had the laces, and underneath that you had the zipper coming down. But in these guys, you've got that zipper that wraps all the way around, and it's best seen on the heel because it wraps all the way around from the front and round to the heel. So you can imagine this shoe full on opening up, like a I'm thinking of Harry Potter, and there's a character in there called Nearly Headless Nick, and he's almost had his head chopped off, and it's a bit like that. The top half of the sneaker will open right up so people can slide their foot into them a lot more easily. So I get the point behind why they've got that fastener that wraps all the way around, maybe as much as 300 degrees of the sneaker. It's from the lateral side all the way around the front to the heel and back towards the lateral side, not 360 degrees, but close. And I get the point, I get the functionality of it, but I just don't like zippers on sneakers. I think they look silly. So I do get the point. I do like that. It's great that an iconic sneaker like this is getting worked up in a way that makes it available to a wider range of people. And I did say, I actually literally typed this in my research. OG sneakerheads and sneaker collectors and stuff. Don't look at these guys through your usual lens of wanting to collect an Air Jordan 1. Look at it through the lens that people out there who aren't necessarily able to wear regular Air Jordan 1s now have a chance to wear them through this kind of tie-up with the FlyEase initiative from Toby Hatfield. But then let's have a look at some of the features on there, though, because there are some really cool features on there. The colorway itself, being that classic Chicago red, black and white colorway, is great. The black Wings logo on the red background up on the neck of these guys, where you'd normally find the Wings logo, is a pretty cool feature as well. My favorite feature of the whole thing is the red upper is great, but the cherry red outsole, it's a more popping red than the color in the upper itself. So the cherry red outsole on these guys as well, I think, is really, really cool. So it is all in all a really nice looking sneaker. I'm sure a lot of people out there will appreciate the backstory. Hopefully not many people out there will pan these guys saying what is this, without actually realizing that the backstory is there and the purpose and the reasoning behind it, which I think we should recognize that sometimes traditional sneakers don't reach the widest range of the population of society that they could. So it's great to see Nike and Toby Hatfield making that effort to make sneakers more accessible to a wider range of people. Okay, that's enough about the sneaker. As I said at the top of the video, I do keep that button movement stuff till the end, and it's trickling in at the moment. I'm hopeful that we'll get more than a trickle from the shoe department, but it's just trickling in right now, and I'm like, I don't want to push it too hard for fear of, butter kind of shoe butter sort of saying, nah, you know what, I don't actually want to do this anymore. But I don't want to just leave it, because then, you run the risk of it sort of fading away and So I'm trying to find that sweet spot to put a little pressure on the big guy to churn out content more often, but without putting on too much so as to make him feel like there isn't a worth to it. So do keep coming up with those comments down below. Shout out to the big guy, shout out to Shoe Butter, tell him that you appreciate him, that you want him to be dropping content, and hopefully together we'll be able to create the right energy that will that Shoe Butter himself will feel, and it'll help him to drop content more often, because frankly I'd rather watch his videos than mine, but you know, that's just me. For now though, it's time for me to sign off. I'm going to leave you with just a little playlist ping up here to the butter movement stuff, which you probably already know about if you're a butter movement guy, but if you aren't, there is a playlist there with a bunch of butter movement videos on it that I definitely recommend you check out. But for now, it's time for me to sign off. I do this every single day, and I still, even though I've been saying it for a couple of days now, I still haven't come up with a better way to end my video, so I'll just do that which I know, which is to say to you, I do this every single day, so you are guaranteed to see me tomorrow.